And we're also seeing lefties losing it at the prospect of free speech, which may return to Twitter now that Elon Musk is going to own the platform. Have a look at this.
There is a problem with this idea of free speech, and that is, where is the limit? Free speech has the ability to incite some really horrific and hateful things, like, for instance, an insurrection. If this owns Twitter, the world is going to be a much worse place.
Gideon, what's amazing here is these people aren't upset that as people from the left and the far left, that their free speech may be curtailed, they may be banned or shadow banned. They're just upset that their ideological opponents are no longer going to be censored. And that's what the meltdown is all about. It's about the fact that Twitter may actually be a balanced site which doesn't target one side of politics.
Yeah, and the most amazing thing about that grab is he gave the game away. He did not lead by saying, as other people disingenuously do, Elon Musk wants to open it to Nazis or anti-vaxxers or all sorts of other things. He actually said free speech is bad. Free speech can lead to terrible things. Once you have the populace accepting things like free speech, one of the greatest gifts that the Enlightenment gave us, one of the most precious, the most fundamental right of them all, our right to express ourselves, once we accept that that is bad or even controversial, you have to say it's a good night nurse for Western civilization, because it is a very, very retrograde step.
Yeah, you can't have any other freedoms without freedom of speech. It is the most fundamental one. And once you start chipping away at that, you're in all sorts of trouble. And the Elon Musk-inspired meltdown continues on Lefty Central, CNN, where David Zurovic made an absolute fool of himself with this hysterical performance.
For how they are trying to limit it. But you need controls on this. You need regulation. You cannot let these guys control discourse in this country, or we are headed to hell. We are there. Trump opened the gates of hell, and now they're chasing us.
I mean, these people are just unhinged. They have no issue with people who share their worldview having complete power, whether it's the owner of the Washington Post or the owner of Facebook or the previous owners of Twitter. But now that there's someone in there, and let's not forget, Elon Musk is no right-wing conservative dude. He is from the left, who donated to Hillary Clinton. He donates to a bunch of left-wing causes. He's just a bloke who actually believes in free speech. And apparently that makes you basically far right now.
Yeah, and, you know, I love these grabs from, even better than the TikTok grabs, I love the grabs from people on cable news. Like, my favourite was the bloke on MSNBC saying, look, theoretically, Elon Musk could use Twitter to tweak the algorithms and shut candidates he doesn't like to the bottom of search terms. Oh, really? Yeah, like when they kicked a sitting US president or a just departed US president off the platform entirely. Yeah, walk a mile in our shoes for a second. But, you know, this is why I'm optimistic about this digital fall of the Berlin Wall that we've just seen, because I actually like Twitter. I like being on Twitter. I know you're very active on Twitter as well, Rita. And if it genuinely did our job, look, we do need a public square, because the problem is we don't hear dissenting points of view. And the one town square we have left, even if it's being shouted at us, is Twitter, where we do hear the other side. It might be good for some of these lefties to actually hear a rational argument for a change and a rational argument from conservatives or libertarians.
Well, it is hugely important, not just because it is the new public square, but because everyone in the media is on Twitter. And I know a lot of our viewers tonight won't be on Twitter. They think it's a nonsense. But trust me, so much of the media you see starts on Twitter, because all the journalists are there and they're having their leftist viewpoints confirmed over and over again. It is an echo chamber. So if you free it up and they actually have members of the media exposed to diverse thoughts, I think that in itself will be healthy. And before we go, I don't think we have lefties losing it just from the US. Here we have a mob of greenies losing it in the UK, smashing up petrol station pumps because they're protesting against oil. Have a look. And what can we say about that, Gideon, other than where are the cops? Because those cops in the UK were very, very quick to move when anti-lockdown protesters were anywhere. Gideon Rozner, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Always a pleasure.